Greetings, fellow captains, and welcome back to another episode of World of Warships with the Hive Hand. And today we're taking our very first look at the brand new Tier 5 Premium Destroyer, the Leone. The first of Leone, the very first Italian DD in the game. And well, I've played quite a few matches in the ship, and in all fairness, done a pretty good job of winning the majority of the games, but I don't know how much of them I would put down to the Leone. Leone. In all fairness, I think the ship is actually probably perfectly balanced. It's actually really well balanced, which makes it a good ship. But it doesn't make it a game-winning ship. So we'll go over my commander build first, and we'll talk about things as they crop up in the two replays that we have going on behind us. So we're using Ingo Camponi with Eric Bay and Jezza Swertsky to get us down to the 5.3 kilometer detection range. You can see on the screen there, we're using our torps for area of denial because they're the 51 kilometer torps, so they're incredibly slow. So as you can imagine, they are more for area of denial. You're not really going to be using them specifically to aim at ships as we start fighting this T61. I have sped the game up because there's two matches in here, and I don't want to spend a month of Sundays trying to fill in the pauses between any sort of action. So as you can see, in all fairness, we're being really helped by the fact that the T61 can't be bothered to shoot at us and take us on in a gunfight, which has allowed us to contribute a decent amount of damage, but our team to also finish him off. So what perks am I using? I'm using Burn It Down for an extra 2% risk chance of causing fire. Look at me now for more concealment. Velocious for a bit more speed. Reaching out to improve the range because it's the guns that make this ship good. But I'll explain how they're good and how they're also bad at the same time. And then fully packed so we get ourselves an extra smoke and an extra speed boost. So as you can see, we're going to try and duke it out with this Acasta here in the background, and we do manage to pick up our first kill of this match. This match is quite interesting because I kind of want to point out something that I think is a bit of a problem with this game, and that's people farming damage. People think damage is the most important thing, although I'm reviewing this ship. It's a key point. Notice that you'll see at the end, I don't do a massive amount of damage, but yes, we torpedoed a DD. I know. You can't really make this stuff up, can you? A little torpedo beats coming in there as well. But yeah, we don't score huge damage, but what we score damage on, which was all DDs, really does make up a massive difference. So, if you're looking to win games, earn XP and progress, then, you want to be picking the right target, not just the target that will give you the most overall damage. But anyway, I digress. Right, let's get back to the Leone. Right, okay, so stats that are interesting. So there's 31,700 hit points with between 1 and 6 millimeters of armor. It's a DD. It's not got massive armor. So that's about all we have to talk about there. So with my build, we've got an 11 kilometer fire range, a 9.5 second reload time, 1700 maximum HE shell damage with an 8% chance of causing fire. But of course we have 8 guns, so that's a pretty high chance of causing fire. I'll be honest with you, if you're shooting at battleships, the chances of fire from each salvo is really, really quite high. It does set an awful lot of fires. 2100 maximum AP shell damage. The how can we call it, the questionable Italian torpedoes. So we've got 2 255mm torpedo launchers. Each launcher has 2 tubes, so that's a maximum of 4 torpedoes in a salvo, but they do only take 47 seconds to recharge. 13,367 maximum damage and an 11-kilometer range, but they are the 51 knots. AA guns, they're not really, they don't really exist. This is not a ship that's equipped for AA. It has 2 13.2mm 76 breeder guns, 2 times 2, so 4, that have an average 8 damage per second and a firing range of 1.2 kilometers. And then it has a 40mm 39 Vickers Trini gun, which has an 11 damage per second and a firing range of 2 kilometers. And there we go, we got sunk. We were trying to see if we could duke it out with a cruiser, and turns out not at that kind of range we can't. We certainly can't do much at that sort of range. Right, let's talk about the speed. So the speed is 36 knots, but with the speed booster going on, we're hitting almost 39. It has a 2.5 second rudder shift, so it is quite manoeuvrable, but it's a DD. It should be quite manoeuvrable. Our concealment with our build is down to 7.3 kilometers by sea, 3.1 by air, and 2.3 when firing from smoke. So you can let ships get quite close to you when firing smoke, even when you tend to want to be focusing more on the guns. And that's it. That's our Leone gone. It's disappeared, lost, but not forgotten. And in all fairness, I should have probably edited this out, but it gives us a bit more time to talk about the ship. So perks, good points, strong points of the ship. Rapid torpedoes. The torpedoes reload really quickly. You know, we're talking about, you know, kamikaze levels of torpedo reload here. Stealthy. The torps are quite stealthy. They only have a kilometer detection range, so even though they are slow, they don't give a whole lot of time for people to react. But it does suffer from a sluggish shot, so difficult to aim at long distances, but their trajectory allows effective fire from cover. So if you've been watching the How to Get Good series, or you're going to, I think this is coming out first, but we are going to discuss trajectories of shots in our How to Aim video. It sounds idiotic, but everyone knows how to aim, but you'll be surprised, and a lot of us forget some details, so I thought it was definitely worth revisiting. So the Leone is a very large destroyer in comparison with her counterparts. Officially classed as a light scout, one of the ship's main features is the 8 main battery guns placed in 4 twin-mounted turrets. She did actually exist. She was in service from 1924, and there was a total of 3 ships in that series. So as you can see there, this is what I was talking about. 35,737 damage. 2 kills. Not great. Let's be honest, it doesn't sound like a particularly fantastic game. But bear in mind, we are at tier 5, so, you know, this isn't tier 7 levels of XP you're going to expect here. 4,924 XP after our win and our premium boost. So 3,286 with our premium, which would without being our win boost, and 5k with our premium boost. And what it actually was as in base XP is 2,500 base XP from 35,000 damage. So yeah, take note. Don't worry about getting all the damage. Worry about what you're damaging. It does make a distinct difference to the outcome of your games. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't think this isn't the next replay doesn't show me duking it out with an Aoba. If you get within extremely close range, and when I say extremely close, I'm talking within 4 kilometers of a cruiser, you can 100% citadel a cruiser. But because of the sluggish shot, because of the trajectories of the shells they fire, they have a very high firing arc, as you've probably seen, or as you will continue to witness. It means, you know, whereas in something like you know, a Farragut, Mahan, a Hotnik, you know, if you're within 7 kilometers, you know, you've got a fairly good chance of scoring citadels. It doesn't really work. The AP does do good damage against cruisers, better than the HE, but you really don't want to be fighting cruisers. I found cruisers incredibly difficult to deal with, but so it should be. You know, dealing with battleships with the torps, they're slow torps. It's not really the main point of this ship. What you want to be focusing on is setting fires to battleships. Almost every single salvo I fired at a battleship results, as long as I get good hits, that is, results in 1 or more fires. You're going to see us hitting this crispy, or not hitting that crispy cream, actually. One of the benefits is, unfortunately, I'm going to have to mute the audio on this one because one of the team members was chatting away. So we're going to engage this Fubuki here, and you know, as you can see, it seemed like a bit of a sad state of affairs, some of our salvos. So 400 on the first one, 3,000 on the second salvo. With a 10-second reload, you can happily enter into gunfights with Fubukis and the like, but you want to be careful fighting you want to be careful fighting your gunboats. One of the key features, that's what I was getting at, and that's what I keep on missing, is the Leone smoke screen. The Leone smoke screen lasts for just over 2 minutes, I believe. Actually, let me just double check that. So we have 118 seconds, so just shy of 2 minutes for our smoke screen. And oh, watch this! I can't believe I've done this twice today. There we go. I killed a destroyer with Italian torpedoes. Oh well. what can you do, right? But yeah, so what I think the principle of getting the most out of this boat is getting yourself into a good position. You can use islands to set fire to battleships, and you can also take advantage of your really good smoke screen and harass battleships with multiple fires and multiple hits. The accuracy of the guns, I find, is really good. I don't have anything to buff dispersion or accuracy, but yet they seem to be really consistent. But as you can see, you know, with this Krispy Kreme, for example, you know, we're not scoring big damage. It really does seem to struggle in direct competition with any form of cruiser, but we do pick up the kill, so well, we can't complain too much, and that is us securing the second kill of our game. So yeah, I want to focus a little bit more on how you play the ship. It is weird. It definitely has its very own, very distinct play style. So torpedoes aren't a weapon, I don't think, because of their reduced speed. Torpedoes are definitely more of an area of denial weapon. So because they reload so quick, you can chuck these torpedoes out every 47 seconds. So use them. They're long range. Use them to fling them through caps, fling them between gaps in islands, and you know, see what happens. If they hit, they hit. If they don't, they're Italian torpedoes. Don't worry about it. They're not designed to hit. They're designed to box your enemies in, and you know, force them to turn, force them to sail in a particular direction. Try and persuade them not to go for that, you know, that cap circle. So take that into account. Definitely focus more on shooting at battleships. My highest damage games, I don't think either of these are particularly high damage games. I think 86 or 87,000 so far is the best I've managed to make. But to be honest with you, they were both losses and both boring as hell to watch, because there was a lot of me sailing around, firing torps, sailing around, firing torps, sailing around, firing torps, and hoping to eventually hit something, which was, yeah, incredibly dull. So I was like, we're not all about that. We want to have some at least entertaining gameplay. So as you can see here, I'm engaging a emerald, which, let's be honest, no destroyer should really be trying to do. And obviously, we've seen how it fared for me last time, but I'm trying to use the concealment to my advantage. I'm trying to use my team to my advantage. I want my team to start causing some damage and raining down some hate onto the emerald. I'm switching to armor piercing because we are getting close, and I really want to see if we can citadel a cruiser. And as you can see, we can't. But our team does hit him, and that allows us to get our last salvo in and finish them off. Now, the Hawkins is letting us know that this DD is over here. He's being really annoying. I'm like, well, okay, good. I've secured this flank. That's 3 kills, 25,000 damage so far, and we're going to go over and see if we can sniff out this destroyer. And pay attention to what I do here. This is something I'm trying to gauge exactly how far away this DD is, and I'm not really paying attention. I'm like, hang on, yeah, dodge those torpedoes. So I'll turn around and I'll be like, right, okay, so how far past me do his torpedoes go? He's a Fubuki, he's 10 kilometers, so he's reasonably close. You know, those torpedoes were not at their maximum range. And oh, there he is. He's spotted. Salvo out. He's on very low health, and bump, there we go. Pick up kill number 4 and the win with only 25,000 damage. But again, it's not what you do, it's what you do with 2,200 base XP game for the Leone. So yeah, overall, you know, this, I think you could easily say the T61 is a fantastic DD at tier 5. The Monaghan, again, fantastic DD at tier 5. Leone, I don't know whether the commander is hindering what you can do with the ship or not, because you can't, there's no dedicated destroyer commander. It is just the jack of all trades, Ingo Camponi, available for it at the moment. Thoroughly, completely and utterly mediocre, but it doesn't mean that it's not a fun ship to use. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found this informative and it helps you make smart decisions on whether or not to spend your hard-earned money. Either way, it's not down to me to tell you. I'm just trying to put the information out to help you guys make smart decisions. Well, on that note, thank you very much for stopping by, and as always, until next time, take care.